Joining us from the set of Anchorman 3 is Elliotte Friedman. Yes, we love what you're wearing, but more importantly, we love the content that you've been able to gather on this day. All the big newsmakers are there, and this is great news for the National Hockey League that the numbers are what they are. The percentage of players that have been vaccinated so high. What's the reaction like there?
Well, I think most people are very happy in the sense that you're hopeful that, we're still kind of in uncharted waters, right, Tony? Everybody's hopeful that we're returning to normal, but, in some places the counts are higher than others, and nobody really knows what's going to happen. But, the best possible chance you have to give yourself the most normal season is with the highest percentage of vaccinated people you can possibly have. And as we know, they made it very clear around teams, and we've seen a couple of coaching changes already because people weren't able to or wouldn't get vaccinated. And now it looks like with the players, the vast majority of them are going to get vaccinated or be vaccinated. And, I think there were some situations where players weren't sure. Some players weren't sure if they wanted to or not. But when they saw what the rules were and saw what would happen if they weren't able to play, I think some more of them decided that, you have to go out and you have to get vaccinated. So, the number one thing the league needs is to play the games, to get the seasons back going, to get the business back at its full capacity. And they've given themselves about as good as an opportunity as you can have for that.
Elliotte, what about we're hearing some words coming out and some maybe some projections on the future of the salary cap and what it may be after the season?
Well, Michael, basically the way the deal works between the league and the players is that the cap will never be able to really rise by a significant amount until basically after the players, because of what percentages they collected on their salaries last year compared to league revenues, they owe the league about over $1 billion. And, basically until all of that money is repaid, the salary cap can only really go up about $1 million a season. Now, it could go up more. There are mechanisms for that. But again, there's also penalties for it too. So basically what the expectation is for the next couple of years, the cap is going to go up about $1 million a year. And then when all of that money is paid back, then we'll see jumps. Now, the good news is that some of the revenue projections that I've heard about in the last couple of days is that there's really hope that the revenues can get back up to closer to where we were before COVID hit. And if that's the case, that is better for the long-term future. I know there's a lot of excitement about, making the new TV deal, helmet ads, the jersey ads, that'll start getting the league back to where it was closer to where it used to be, and that can ease that payback faster. But right now, for next season, because of the situation, should only expect about a $1 million growth in the cap.
Interesting. On the topic of numbers, the best numbers of Marc-André Fleury's career. He's one of the players that is there. You've gotten the chance to visit with so many players on this day. If you could give us an interesting story, one that stands out, what would it be?
Well, first of all, let me just say I'm really happy that we're doing this again. I don't know if the players are that happy to see us, but I think we're very happy to see them. It's great to be able to sit down and talk with people face to face. Fleury, obviously he's put on the Chicago Blackhawks jersey today. You saw the picture go viral. He had a beautiful suit jacket he was wearing. He said it's his lucky jacket, and kind of saw why, because on the inside there's on the lining there's pictures of his kids. But what was really interesting was, he's in the last year of his contract. He's soon to turn 37, and I said, was there, we talked about his future, and he kind of said it's possible. There's no guarantee, but it's possible that this could be his final season. And we talked to him about it a bit more in the interview, and it depends on how he feels and how the year goes. And I said, I'm blown away as we sit here with this, that this could possibly be the last time we do this with you. And he said, we'll see how it goes. But he said right now he's approaching it on a year-to-year basis, and I hope it isn't. I hope he plays for many more years to come. But he did say that it is possible that this could be his final year.
Elliotte, it's a little bit of a rarity right now that we have so many big-name RFAs that remain unsigned. I hate to ask you this every single time, but it's what everybody wants to know. Any updates on any of them?
We tried to press Jack Hughes for information on Quinn, and he was very careful about what he would say. The one thing was he really raced the defense of his brother. He said that he thought his brother took some really unfair criticism last year for the way he played. It was pretty impressive to see a brother defend a brother like that. But I haven't heard a ton in terms of movement. One thing I did hear was it's possible with Rasmus Dahlin in Buffalo that they do a potentially. We'll see what kind of length term they go there. Is it possible they go shorter term instead of longer term? Brady Tkachuk in Ottawa, we talked during this week. Is it possible they go shorter term than longer term as well? In Vancouver with Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson, I'd heard again, as I said earlier this week, it was likely closer with Hughes than Pettersson, but nothing guaranteed. I think they are trying to do longer term there, and we'll see where we go. But I just think there's a lot of people grinding away to try to get these deals done. But as I'd heard this morning, and I hadn't followed up much today, Mike, I hadn't heard of any breakthroughs.
Final minute of our time with you for the 237th time. Anything new on Jack Eichel?
You know what? I'd heard that there was some hopeful that there would be some clarity on his medical situation by the end of this week. So we've got another day. We'll see where that goes. But that's the last thing I heard today, was that they were hopeful that medically we might have some clarity by the end of the week, guys.
Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Shawshank Redemption. You say hello to Baxter for us. Give him a wheel of cheese. Great visiting with you, Elliotte Friedman.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Likewise.